Hello, Missouri pastors. This is Kevin and Kevin. We're on the Shepherd's Watch, and we're excited that we have a state meeting coming up. Kevin, thanks for hosting the Missouri BBF in October.
Yeah, it is our joy to have everybody there. Everybody here, I should say, October 11th. We've got a great day planned. It's something we wanted to do last year. We didn't get a chance with COVID, so we're excited to have and be able to host our first meeting here.
Well, I think fellowship is kind of in everybody's blood. We had a great time with Steve and Bob there at Antioch. They served us so well. So thank you, Steve. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Antioch, for all that you did for our fellowship and the guys in the state. They kind of set the bar kind of high, Kevin. You going to measure up?
Oh, I hope we can. I'm not sure I can match Kansas City barbecue, but we do have Ozark smoked barbecue for lunch at 11:30. So we'll do our best to serve you a good meal. We do have a great speaker, but yeah, should be a fun time. And we did. What a great meeting. In fact, I've heard a couple pastors say that they thought it was one of the best national meetings they've ever been to. And so I agree. What a blessing. The hospitality of Antioch was for sure bar none. It was excellent.
Yeah, it was a home run. Everybody walked away encouraged. So again, thank you, Steve. Thank you, Bob. So yeah, we're looking forward to this meeting. It's about loving your community, and you've invited a friend that we have, Steve Viers from Lafayette or Faith Church Lafayette, and they've really demonstrated over 25, 30 years under his leadership what it means to love a community. Tell us about that, Kevin.
Yeah, so Steve Viers is, as you mentioned, a good friend of yours. Is a good friend of mine. I've known him since 1999. Back then, I was just this young 25-year-old kid that he welcomed in, befriended me. And as I moved into the biblical counseling ministry and started teaching and doing those various activities, he started inviting me out to their church. And over the years, I've taught for years out at their church. I've gotten to watch his vision grow. I've participated in many of their conferences, both attending and teaching. And he's, over the years, what I've noticed, he has strategic planning conferences that he does that are just excellent. And I've watched that strategic planning take place both on the front end and then as it plays out over years and years and years. And they've gone from a small church in one location to now they have a very large church in multiple locations. And they've built facilities to do two things: facilities to love their community and to be able to present the gospel to their community. So it's a fascinating model that he's willing to come and share and talk to us about. It's one that we've taken very seriously. At Sonrise, I've often said that when Sonrise grows up, I hope it will look something close to what Faith is doing, just simply because they take loving your community to a whole new level.
Yeah.
And the things that we do here, boy, it is just a small part of what they're doing in their community. And I think it'll be a challenge to all of us to hear it and to think about it.
Yeah, and I often think about, as ministers, we're equipping the saints for the work of the ministry. And that's a labor that we're doing, is we're equipping. But at some point, you have to unleash those members of your church that have been equipped.
Sure.
And turn them loose on their community so that they can go love people and love them to Christ. And they do both. They equip and build up the saints, but they're very good at releasing the saints to do this loving on the community. And it's, sometimes a church is strong in one, but not the other. And their church has kind of really brought both of those worlds together. And I know I'm bringing our staff, I know Grace, we want to grow in that component of unleashing ministers into our community. And so I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a great choice. And I would encourage all the pastors to bring their staff and to come ready to think deeply about the role. You're the church, you're the light in your community. How can you love your particular community? Not do it just like Faith or anybody else, but to do it in your community. And there's opportunities there. And I think Steve will really flesh that out.
I think so. Often around here, we talk about the Great Commission, if we want to think of it as a plane, and where you have loving your community and giving them the gospel. And then this other side of discipleship inside your church, and you want to fly level as a church. Most of us tend to fly one direction or the other.
Right.
It's hard to keep the church level. And as you just said, I think Steve now demonstrated almost 30 years of ministry as the senior pastor there. he has that flying level, and level to an extent that when I go, I am always challenged to love my community more. And in fact, we want to give everybody that's here at least one copy. We don't have the books yet, so we're waiting on them. But the book called Loving Your Community is a book that Steve wrote several years ago. And it's an outstanding read related to how you can practically serve the people in your community to demonstrate the love of Christ. And so we hope to have a copy, one of those for everybody that's here as well.
Yeah, and so Steve's going to come in. He's going to speak a couple times on this topic. It's a presentation he gives. I mean, it's very engaging. You're going to see their ministry. You're going to understand his heartbeat. And then we'll have opportunities for the pastors to ask questions, follow-up questions as well. We'll always pray, guys. When we gather, we always want to encourage each other, pray. We're going to eat a good meal at 11:30. And just to let all the guys know, we're going to end our time with Steve around 3:30. And then from 3:30 to 4, we're just going to have like a 30-minute business meeting. October is our annual meeting. And so we're going to be highly organized. We're going to get in, get out, do it. But there are some things we want to cover as state officers. So pastors, make sure that you're there at 11:30. You'll be fed well. We're going to be encouraged, taught well, and then we'll do some business there at the very end. So Kev, thanks again for hosting. Yeah. It's going to start at 11:30. It's October 11. It's at your new location there in Ozark. So we'll send the address along with some directions on the email. Guys, show up early. Kevin's guys can give you a tour of the facility, and we'll just rejoice. This is a success, that God has allowed this church plant to grow to this level. And so praise the Lord for what God's doing there in Ozark. Kev, we look forward to seeing you.
It's God's kindness. We're happy to welcome you all to our facility, and we're especially happy to build into you and your churches in relationship to how we can better serve our communities with the gospel.
Okay, thanks, Kev. Hey, we'll see you October 11th.
God bless.